Bro, no way. The first one has been listed for 1 billion coins. Are you kidding? I wonder if it's going to sell. Nah. nah. Smorg222 just became a billionaire by playing a chocolate game. Your eyes do not deceive you, and what's even crazier is that there is so much more money to be made. Watch this video and you might be able to become the next chocolate factory billionaire. If you haven't started with a chocolate factory, what are you doing? It is literally free money. Don't worry, it's not too late. I'm going to show you everything that you need to know, how to play the game, as well as tips and tricks to decimate the competition. To open the game, just hit /CF on the keyboard, and when you get started, you'll be greeted with a screen like this. At the top, you will see your total chocolate to spend, the chocolate per second that your workers are generating, as well as the total chocolate that you've baked. There are 5 different workers all generating more chocolate per second, or CPS, for you. At the beginning, you can only buy the rabbit bro, but after you buy 20, you're then able to buy the next upgrade. And the same is true for buying all of the different upgrades. One tip is that these upgrades are actually linear, meaning that the first rabbit gives you 1 CPS, and then the second gives you 2, and so on all the way up to 5. So when you're buying your upgrades, you're going to want to keep them in order. So if you're spending 10k on the first rabbit, then you're going to want to spend 20k on the second and 30k on the third. That way you can maximize the amount of CPS that you get for the chocolate spent. The prestige system is pretty simple. You need to gain a certain amount of chocolate in the prestige, then you can move on to the next. The stats are pretty self-explanatory as well. There are 5 prestige in total, and here are all of the upgrades. One thing I want to touch on in more detail is the ability to get rarer rabbits, but we will touch on that in a moment. With each of the first 4 prestige, you unlock a new ability in your game window. You start with the hand-baked chocolate, which is the amount of chocolate that you generate by clicking on the chocolate bunny. This caps out at 10, which is quickly overshadowed by your workers, but it's helpful in the early prestiges. Prestige 2 unlocks the Time Tower, which is a scaling buff with 3 charges that last 1 hour each, and this takes 8 hours to recharge. Prestige 3 unlocks the Rabbit Shrine, which increases the chances of getting rarer rabbits during the Hoppity's hunt. I'm going to explain this in more detail very soon. And finally, Prestige 4 unlocks the Coach Jackrabbit, which is a flat multiplier to your chocolate production. And finally, there is the shop. This is what we are all doing this for, so let me switch to a live commentary and I'll explain each of the items. Here is the shop. So in here, there are a whole bunch of different items. Now, a lot of these items, you actually need to be at a certain prestige to be able to purchase. But let's go through them one by one. So we have the Supreme Chocolate Bar. If you bring 3,000 of these to an NPC called Carolyn, it's going to give you 12 Cocoa Bean Fortune. At the moment, that's going to cost 23 mil. Farmers will do some crazy things for very small buffs. So the second is the Egg Locator. Now, the Egg Locator is so good. Honestly, I asked people what they thought of the Egg Locator in the beginning. They hated it, and I think that they are 100% wrong. Couldn't be more wrong. Especially if you're not an Iron Man, buying this for 125k is like so free. And I'll explain how it works later, but definitely very, very good. Then we move on to the accessories. The accessories move up through the rarities, as a lot of different accessories do. So obviously you're going to buy the common accessory for 250 million chocolate. You're going to have to then have that and another amount of chocolate to buy the next, and so on and so forth. The first chocolate realm, as you already have seen in this video, actually sold for 1 billion coins. So, and it did sell. There are now a couple of them coming in. We want to make it all the way through to that. Now, you actually do have to prestige to level 4 to actually be able to buy this in the first place. Next is the Dark Cocoa Truffle. Now, this item is very similar to the Bottle of Jur. Essentially, what you do is you hold it in your inventory. It starts to accumulate, and so if you hold one of these items for 30 hours in your inventory, it's going to evolve, and it evolves into, here it is, the Refined Dark Cocoa Truffle. It's going to give you 30 global fortune for 60 minutes, as well as giving you a permanent global farming fortune. Again, farmers will do some crazy things. This might be worth buying in mass, to be honest. Lowest buy it now is 200 mil on this item. That's kind of crazy. I've had that much. So next is the Chocolate Syringe. Chocolate Syringe is going to be 10 billion. You have to be Chocolate Factory 5 for this, but you're going to basically be able to take this item as well as a legendary rabbit pet, and you can upgrade it into a mythic rarity. But let me show you what it even does. It's so bad. Legendary rabbit pet gives you farming wisdom. That's the only thing that it's good for. All of the rest is totally useless. Nobody cares about any of those other stats, but it does not give you any fortune. So when I found out that you could upgrade it to a mythic, I thought, yes, maybe they're going to add fortune and you can get wisdom and fortune. It'll be so good. I was wrong. Let me show you what a mythic rabbit actually looks like. Here it is. Somebody has shared a screenshot. The only things that it adds, it just increases the chocolate injection skill right here. So it increases the production of your chocolate factory and gives you more rabbits if you find duplicates. It is bad. Unfortunately, bad. The final item is, this one is yet to enter into the game. So if you are the first person to get one of these items, you will be a very rich boy. I can guarantee that this item is going to go for 2 billion coins. And let's explain what it is. It is a farming accessory. So basically, you're going to get farming fortune and farming wisdom. Crazy amounts of fortune, by the way. It also has an insane ability. The stats of this cape are doubled during a farming contest, and you have a 20% chance to obtain an extra medal from the contest. This is going to cost 20 billion chocolate, so that is not for the faint of heart. But that's not even the hardest part. Getting 20 billion chocolate is the easier part. So it also requires Zoro in the Hoppities collection. So let's go into our barn now. That now is as good a time as any to go over to the barn, and I'll explain what that actually means for us. I mentioned that when we are upgrading our prestige, the maximum rabbit rarity that you can get also increases. So mine is currently at legendary. Once I prestige to prestige 5, I'm going to hit mythic, which is very, very cool, because one of the requirements for me getting a Zoro's cape is for me to have found Zoro. Just a quick thing is you can actually start to buy upgrades for your barn. This is it maxed out, 396. I'm very annoyed that it doesn't go to 400 just on the dot. That's annoying. But if we go into my Hoppities collection here, you can see these are the different rabbits that I've managed to find in my travels. I'm going to show you every way that you can find more rabbits, but each of them are giving you an amount of chocolate per second and a multiplier for your chocolate per second. The total that my barn is giving me is 286 chocolate per second, as well as that multiplier, 0.395 multiplier, which is really good because every time you prestige, all of your rabbits go, but your barn does not. So your barn will remain and you can actually continue to use it. Let's talk about every way that you can add rabbits to your collection. The first, you're going to have to head over to this place in here. You can see Hoppity. You can also come and have a look in here and check on all of your different workers and things like that. But we are interested in Hoppity. So every spring, and right now, if we open up the calendar, it is currently late spring. This gentleman right here refreshes his shop, and in his shop, he's going to have 7 different rabbits that you can pay coins for to unlock. That is an option. I've spent a lot of money with that guy. I wish I hadn't. I am addicted. Okay, moving on. The next thing is the Hoppities Hunt. Now, an egg locator is insanely useful. I said that before, but it is absolutely incredible. So you can see down the bottom that every around 6.5 minutes. Oh, I've just been kicked from Skyblock. Every 6.5 minutes you get kicked from Skyblock. So every 6.5 minutes you're going to get a different Hoppities Hunt. Now there are 3. There is breakfast, lunch, and dinner eggs. And 3 eggs will stay on the map at any given time. So right now there are 3 eggs scattered around this map. And every 20 minutes, every Skyblock day, there's another 3. So what you're going to do is, first of all, there's one right here. So what you're going to do, you're going to walk up to the egg. You're going to click on it. And you can see I got Billy down the bottom. I've already got Billy, which is so sad. I didn't add anything to my barn. Let's go to the next one. So I'm going to right click. It's going to point exactly where I'm supposed to go. So here it is here in the Bazaar Alley. It's going to do its little thing again. And I got a second one that I've already got. That's so sad. I don't have that many, you know. And then the third one is just up here. You can see it just chilling. But imagine I had walked straight past it and I'd gone way far. You're going to use the egg and it's going to point you straight back. It's literally so easy. It's so easy. You don't need help from anybody. And that one is an epic that I did not have. And you can see that it has added 10 chocolate and 0.005 chocolate per second. Now, a small tip that I've got for this, other than to use the egg locator, because everybody hates this thing, but I love it so much. Wait 20 minutes, a brand new set of 3 eggs will appear. Just go and find all 3 eggs. You can do it in the mining islands or the dungeon hub. I like to do it in the regular hub just because I'm so familiar with where all the eggs are. The final way that you unlock more is in your milestones. Once you hit a certain chocolate milestone, you're going to be able to come in here and grab a free rabbit. So it goes all the way up to 500 billion, which is when you get a mythic. The only other thing that I want to mention is this over here. This is going to show you your chocolate per second, as well as all of the different multipliers and where it's all coming from and things like that. That's going to show you where you're actually getting all of your stuff from. So if we have a look, the one that I want to mention is actually a cookie buff. Your cookie buff is super, super important. The only other thing on this menu that I haven't mentioned is just the rankings. Currently, if anybody's curious, I'm top. Oh, there's another egg. Thank you. I'll be taking that. Oh. Other than that, yeah, go get your chocolate sorted, get your Zorro Kate, sell it for 2.5 bill, become rich, enjoy life. Bye. Special thank you to some cyber guy who's become the first channel member. If you enjoy the content and want to see your name at the end of every video, then consider joining. It's only $1. Other than that, subscribe and watch this video. It's good. Trust me.